What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss an important topic. I don't even really honestly know or care who came up with the name, but today we're going to talk about poor man plots and why they don't work. Poor man plots have been around for several years now. The terminology poor man plots, which include making plots with limited equipment. And from what I've seen over the past few years, when people that are new to food plots want to create this poor man food plot, they get a false sense of not having to put a lot of work into this food plot because they call it poor man plot. So what poor man plot really is just literally a food plot where you don't have a lot of equipment to plant to plant the food plot, whether it's removing trees, tilling the ground, getting trees out of the way, whatever the case may be. You're limited with equipment. Poor man plots can be an excellent tool, and I've created them over the past with literally leaf blowers, a four-wheeler, chainsaw, a rake, blowing the leaves out and things like that. But the terminology kind of fools people because it may make people not get a soil sample, may not add lime, may not add fertilizer, probably buying poor quality or old seed, things like that. But the reality is, the poor man plot, you can still have limited equipment and have an excellent result. But with that is getting a soil sample. It costs $14 depending what state you're in. Getting a soil sample, getting that soil sample back, reading the soil sample, and using the recommendations that the soil sample has, whether it's adding lime, bringing your NPK up, your cation exchange up, whether you have enough organic matter in that soil, things like that. But the main priority with this is actually getting the soil sample. For some reason, a lot of people, I don't know whether they're scared of a soil sample, but that $14 can save you so much headache and money in the long run, because you will be creating a healthier food source for the deer, which in turn will be more palatable, which in turn again you'll have more success. So these little poor man plots that are tucked, whether it's tucked in a little corner of a field or kind of back in the timber where you actually had to cut some trees down and things like that, start with that soil sample, read it, add the recommended lime. Lime is fairly cheap these days. Pelletized lime works well, goes a long way. It's just when you're getting into food plotting, it takes time, it takes money. I've spent tons of money on food plots, but to me it's fun, and if I'm not gonna do it the right way, then I'm not gonna do it at all. So but just keep that in mind when you're planning food plots, poor man plots, that you take the extra time to follow the steps, add the lime, plant proper seed. Some examples of proper seed would be like an annual clover to build that nitrogen up in the soil, and green manure. Another mistake with this is that I want to talk about real quick is when people plant food plots, do not, I repeat, do not burn them down before you disc them in the ground. Let them, whether it's clover, sunflowers, buckwheat, cow, whatever it is that you're planting on that spring and summer mix, when late summer rolls around, August 15th, something like that, and you want to plant your fall plot, don't spray glyphosate and kill it. Just disc it in. Let that green material decompose naturally, that as nature intended, because that's going to help build the soil up. When you guys use glyphosate to kill it, not only is it getting in the animal and you're eating the meat, so therefore you're eating glyphosate, and no matter whether you guys believe it or not, glyphosate causes cancer over the long run. Some people develop it sooner because they're exposed to it for long periods of time, or they're using it, it's getting on their skin and things like that. So just keep that in mind when you're creating these food plots. Try not to use glyphosate. If you overseed a little bit, it'll kind of smother the weeds out. There's certain plants you can do to help prevent a lot of weeds from growing. Buckwheat is good. Shade, they create a lot of shade, and cowpeas and sunflowers and things like that will help prevent a lot of weeds from growing. But just keep that in mind. Don't take the term poor man plots thinking that you don't have to put a lot of effort into it. You still should put the same amount of effort into it as with anything in life, or any kind of food plot that you're actually creating. Let's keep that in mind, guys. Hope that helps. Any questions, leave a comment down below. Give the video a thumbs up, really appreciate it. Share the video, possibly help a friend out, and subscribe if you guys are new. See you guys later.